What's up, everyone? Today we have a fun episode. It's iPhone season, and last week on Friday, the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus came out. I know a lot of the people watching this show, you're holding out for the iPhone 10. So I think this episode is going to be geared towards the people waiting for the 10 and for the 8 and 8 Plus. Has a bunch of new features on the 8, the glass back, the new cameras, portrait lighting, faster processor, the neural engine AI chip. But I think the most significant addition, the one that everyone is talking about, is actually inductive charging or wireless charging, whatever you want to call it. So I thought it would be really great to bring together the best wireless chargers, inductive chargers that I could find for the 8, 8 Plus, and iPhone 10 and sort of compare them all and dive into them. A lot of people have been asking me about these. Lots of questions coming in so far, so thanks for sending those in and keep them coming. But now I want to dive in and show you what we have here. So we have 5 of the best ones that I could find that are on the market right now. The ones on the right or left are the ones that Apple actually sells and advertised on stage. So these are already available on the Apple Store, and I think online on the online store. The last I checked earlier today, those had 1 business day shipping times. So if you buy it today, you should be able to get one by tomorrow or the day after if you order it at a certain time during the day. Now, this is the Belkin one. You can see it's the only white one of the bunch, and it's the biggest one in terms of overall volume. I think it's circular. This one's also another big one, but it's more of a horizontal shape there. We have this middle one. It's the RAV Power, and this one, as well as this Mophie one on this side, that's the one that Apple's actually giving out to people who are reviewing the 8 and 8 Plus. So this one is a review unit from Apple. The rest are review units from the companies that make these products, and it's about the same size, these 2 RAV Power ones. Now, the important thing to note here is that these are very expensive comparatively for the functionality they actually bring to the table. And that basically takes me to my takeaway. I don't recommend any inductive charger on the market right now. I know that might be surprising to hear, but all of these on the table right here are either $50 or $60. This middle one, this RAV Power one, is actually the best deal because it's a $50, while the other ones, these 4 right here, are $60. And they don't really bring much to the table. So they're not true wireless. What you see here is you see these cables plug into all of them. So you're not losing the cable in any way. You're basically getting these charging hubs where you can take the phone and put it on there. And I'll give you an example here. You can put this on the Belkin. See, it starts charging. That's basically what it is. But you're not getting any actual additional functionality. When the Air Power one, the one that Apple is working on, comes out early next year, for who knows how much they're going to charge for it, probably based on their past accessory pricing, probably around $100. That's going to have additional functionality with new sounds, and it'll be able to also plug in with your Apple Watch and your AirPods, and be able to see the power levels for all of those. Let's zoom in. I want to compare some of the chargers some more. So let's take a deeper look on that. Now I want to show you again the process of putting the phone on a charger. So you have this RAV Power one right here. This is the $50 one. You can see it charges, and it doesn't do anything special when it charges. It just lights up. You can see it's like you normally plug the cable in. I'm going to do another one right here. This is the Mophie one. Now, in terms of comparison, right now, these all have the same exact functionality. This Belkin one, these 2 are Incipio. That's a big, popular case maker. They're actually owned by Griffin. It's like a merger type of company. RAV Power, it's a Chinese charger-based company. And then Mophie, they make those Mophie juice packs, those charging cases for the iPhone that I know some of you use. I used to use one before I got a Plus, but these days I don't really find the need because the battery life is actually so good on the 8 Plus at least. If you have an 8 or anything of that size, I'd still recommend a charger. But one of the most important things to note are the speeds here. None of these chargers, as you can see right here, you put the phone down, fine, it's a little convenient. It is no different than taking the lightning cable and plugging it into the bottom of your phone. These all charge at just 5 watts. So the charger, the USB to lightning cable, that speed that you get out of the box with that small little power brick is the exact same that you'll get at these. And people are asking, is the charging speed the same? Yes, it's the same whether you plug it in or not. So you're not getting any added convenience here on any of these right now. Apple's going to come out with a software update later this year that allows you to charge at 7.5 watts, so at a higher voltage rate. It's called fast charging according to Apple. I don't think that's much faster, going from 55 watts to 7.5 watts, but there you have it, it'll be there. And the good news is that if you buy one of these chargers now, most of them are compatible. You can see the different rates of voltage here. So this Mophie one, this can go up to 7.5. This Belkin one can go up to 7.5. One of these goes up to 15. One of them goes up to 5. I believe this Rav Power one you can see at the bottom. Okay, this goes to 10. So if it goes higher than 7.5, this one actually, let's see on the bottom here. Yeah, this one goes up to 5 watts. So this one is not going to ever get any faster, even with the iPhone software update. But the rest go past 7.5 or 7.5 minimum at the high end, so you'll be able to get that faster speed on those. Now, a lot of people are asking, we have one question coming in here, does it work when the phone is in a case? So let me just show you without the case. You can see this is the iPhone without a case right now. I'm going to put it on this Incipio one right here. And you have to align it properly. That's another gripe I have with these things. And you can see it's charging, it works without a case. Now I'm going to put it in the case, and it should work as well. I've been testing these over the weekend, and I haven't had any problems with the case. So charges with the case. Let's go to the Mophie one. Charges with the case. Rav Power with the case. This other Incipio one with the case. And this Incipio one actually makes a sound to let you know that you put it down. This Belkin one, it lights up right here, so you can see if you're not looking at the screen, or the screen is off when you put it in the charger. So all of them work with the case, without the case. They all seem to work fine. The speeds across the board are the same. I haven't had any practical issues in use with them. I just take issue with spending $50 to $60 on a device that doesn't add much more functionality. Now, we have some other people asking, what about the Apple Watch? So the Apple Watch Series 3, which I have here as well, has Qi charging capability. So a lot of people have been asking, what happens if you put the Apple Watch Series 3 on one of these Qi chargers? Well, I've been testing it, trying to get this to work all weekend on some of these chargers, and I've gotten hit and miss results. So sometimes I'll put it on one of the Qi chargers, it works, sometimes it doesn't work. I will try it now live in front of you to see if it works on air. This one doesn't work. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. And for those wondering, the one that I was able to get working actually was this Rav Power one and this Incipio one. I was able to get the wireless charging on the Qi charging work with the Apple Watch Series 3 on both of those, but extraordinarily hit and miss. I would absolutely not recommend any inductive charger for the Apple Watch. You're better off using the charger that comes in the box or one of those other accessories from accessory makers like 12 South. They sell some pretty good Apple Watch charging accessories. More questions coming in here. Why do some chargers say they won't fast charge the iPhone without a separate add-on? Now that separate add-on is actually the software update. And let's zoom out here while we're talking about this. Is actually the software update that's going to bring the 7.5 watt charging to the iPhone later in the year. Apple hasn't been specific about when that's going to come out. More questions coming in here. Are they all slow as molasses? Well, if you consider the 5 watt charger that comes with the iPhone, that small adapter in the box with the USB to Lightning cable, if you consider that slow as molasses, then yes, it's slow as molasses. In my tests, it's about the same. Personally, I don't even bother charging an iPhone 8 Plus or my 7 Plus or even the 6 Plus for that matter with the charger that comes in the box. I get rid of that thing, put it in the drawer instantly, and I grab an iPad charger. Now, what I would recommend for anyone watching this, instead of spending $50 or $60 on one of these inductive chargers, I would highly recommend you put that money towards something else. That would be the USB-C to Lightning charging solution that Apple offers through fast charging. Now, fast charging with a cable will allow you to charge the phone from 0 to 50% in about a half an hour. Now, it's not linear, so you won't get 1 hour of charge, or you won't get 100% charge in 1 hour. But what you will get is using that cable to charge this up quickly. So you have to plug a cable into these things anyways. So you might as well be more functional about it with your money, charging these things up. So what I would recommend is you get a USB-C to Lightning cable. Apple sells them for 25 bucks. I'm sure you can get them on Amazon or Alibaba for a bit cheaper. And then you want to get a USB-C power adapter from Apple or another company. Those also come with the MacBook Pro, some of the new iPad models, the 12-inch MacBook. It connects it with that, so you'll get fast charging out of the box. So I would put that money, that goes up to about $70, $80, depending on where you get the cables from, closer to the $50, $60 if you buy third-party adapters. But what you're going to get there is the ultimate speed versus the inductive charging. Now, there is some convenience of being able to drop your phone down on this mat and get it to charge, but functionality-wise, it's just not there. So I'm the type of person that if I'm already going to have to connect a cable, I'm going to want to get the fastest speed possible. And that's what you would get from getting a USB-C to Lightning charging solution. It's a little bit more money, but it's worth it. We'll see when the AirPower charger comes out next year if that thing goes at a little bit of a faster speed. But until then, at these 5-watt speeds, and again, we haven't tested the 7.5 voltage speeds on this phone because the software update's not out yet. But until that update comes out, I just can't recommend any inductive charger. I don't think it's a good use of your money. Other questions coming in here. How is charging speed compared to wired charging? Well, on the regular charging speed, the 5 wattage charging, it's pretty much the same in my test as the one that comes in the box with the phone. More coming in here. Any difference in charging speed between wireless chargers? That's a good question. It's been pretty much the same because the iPhone takes that output based on the software. They're all basically the same. It basically evens the playing field across the board. Some of these chargers are capable of going way faster if you connect it to a compatible Android phone like Samsung, but with the iPhone, you're going to be limited to what Apple has it limited to. So if you're the type of person that has an Android phone with wireless charging, inductive high-speed charging support, plus an iPhone, you might want to get one of these that go up to 15 watts. Now, I believe this is the one that goes up to 15. Yes, this Incipio one here for $60 goes up to 15 watts. So that's a really good option for you because you're going to be able to future-proof it if Apple ever decides, and they haven't announced this, to unlock the Qi charging in the iPhone to go up to 15. But if you have an Android phone that supports it, that's a good option for you. So in terms of functionality and future-proofing, if you're already going to get one of these, I think this is the best one. Now, let's zoom in and reset. For those just joining us, we're comparing a bunch of the latest, highest-end wireless inductive chargers in the market right now for the iPhone. I don't think any inductive charger right now, and you can see how it works right here, is worth your money because of the speeds. I think you can better spend your money on getting a fast-charging 50% in half-an-hour charging solution through a USB-C power cable and adapter. But here you have it. Comparison for those who do want one of these. I think that they all look okay. I don't think the build quality is particularly great on any of them. I would say the Belkin one looks the best, but the Mophie one is the most compact. You know it's not going to move around. The Belkin one is sort of light. You might think it might fly off your nightstand. This one's light too. The RAV-Power one is a bit heavier, and this one is a little, feels a little flaky and light too. So if you're looking for hardware build quality, probably the Mophie and the RAV-Power. You know they're going to be sturdy. You know they're not going to fly off your nightstand. But I do think the Belkin one looks the best. Another fundamental problem with all of these is that the power adapter, which you still have to have, so it's not pure wireless, they're all very bulky and big. So the benefit of the Apple power brick that comes in the box is that it's small. You can plug it in. It doesn't take up more than one slot in your charging adapter. These all will. We actually had a problem getting these into the power strips. A power strip has 8 slots, and we have 5 chargers here, and we needed 2 power strips in order to fit all of these. That's how bulky some of these adapters are. I can't show you because then we would have to unplug these and they would stop working. But take my word for it. The adapters on all of these are fairly bulky. Now I want to lift some of these up so you can see the bags to them. Some people are asking about that. So you can see the base here. It's this soft base here. It won't really scratch your nightstand, your table, and whatnot. Same, we have these like little rubber pads on the bottom of this one. The RAV-Power, they pretty much all have those feet at the bottom. This one too, as well as this Mophie one. I don't think the build quality on the Mophie one is awesome, but it's probably the best of the bunch. It's a little plasticky and rubbery on the sides. It's not very Apple-like. People who are used to the Apple design probably would want to go through the Belkin one, even though it's a little plasticky and light, or wait for the AirPower if you even want one of these in the first place. More questions coming through. What charger actually comes with the iPhone? That's a very good question. So the charger that comes with the iPhone is the Lightning connector charger. You can see this is the Lightning connector. It's the USB 2 to Lightning cable. Then you put it into that little 5-watt charging adapter that's come with the iPhone for quite some time. More questions coming in here. I thought charging was supposed to be way faster. Yes, so wired charging is way faster if you have the right equipment for it. And that's about a $70, $80 purchase depending on where you buy the cables and connectors from. So what you need is a 12-inch MacBook charger or a 15-inch or 13-inch MacBook Pro charger, one of the new ones with USB-C support, as well as a USB-C to Lightning cable. So USB-C on one end and Lightning to plug in on the other end. Then you'll be able to charge way faster, 50% speed in half an hour. Other questions coming in here, and let's zoom out while we take some more of these questions. Does the iPhone 7 charger work on the iPhone 8? Yes, absolutely. The iPhone 7 charger, basically any charger that has shipped with the iPhone 5 and newer, will work with the iPhone 8. It has USB on one side, has the 5-watt little power adapter, as well as Lightning on the other side. You won't have any problems with those. It's the same charging experience that they've had since Lightning came out in 2012. Other questions coming in here: are the AirPod headphones the same on the iPhone 8? Yes, I actually have my AirPods with me. Now the AirPods connect to the iPhone 8 the same way that they connect to the iPhone 7 and other iPhones that support the AirPods. Now, I think that raises another question. Some people might be wondering, do the AirPods work on these Qi chargers? Well, the answer is no. Apple's coming out with a new wireless charging case that they're going to start selling next year when the AirPower comes out. That's actually a Qi charging case. The AirPod headphones themselves are the same, but this is going to be Qi charging compatible, so it will work with the AirPower. And the ultimate goal here for Apple with the AirPower is that you have an Apple Watch, you have an iPhone, you have AirPods. Obviously, it's a lot of money altogether, over $1,000, and it's one charging mat, and you basically can lay, I'll show you here, just pretending we have an AirPower here. You can lay the AirPods, the iPhone, and the Apple Watch all next to each other on one mat, and what you would get is extra functionality here. The iPhone screen, on the lock screen, it would actually display the battery information about all three devices on that one screen. So that's the goal at the AirPower. We'll see how much that costs, and we'll see what the charging speed is when that comes out. Probably at the 7.5 wattage. I wouldn't be surprised if it was at the 5 or more, but I would think that 7.5 is what it has to be, given Apple has that software update to make the charging on the phone for inductive charging faster. More coming in here. Have you tried the public wireless chargers like Starbucks, etc.? No, I have not tried that. That's a good idea. I will actually go to Starbucks after this if they have Qi chargers at this location near our office. I will try it out, and I will let you guys know on Twitter if that worked. That's a very good question. More coming in here. Why is Apple so behind when it comes to wireless charging? You know, that's a really good point. I got a lot of criticism for a story I wrote before the iPhone 8 and 810 came out, that Apple is usually not first to new standards such as OLED, LTE, and now inductive charging. Got a lot of criticism for that, shockingly. But it's true. Wireless charging has been on competing phones for years. I remember when the Palm Pre came out in 2009. Okay, 2009. That's 8 years ago. In January, that will be 9 years ago from when the Palm Pre came out, and they just brought wireless charging, inductive Qi charging, to the iPhone for the first time. So yes, there is no denying here, Apple is absolutely behind on inductive charging. They're even behind on the fast charging, the connection feature for the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus. They're behind on the fast charging speeds for inductive charging. They're going to start catching up, though, for real next year with the AirPower, and we'll see if that experience is a bit better. But I remember when the Pre came out in 2009, it had functionality where it knew to do specific tasks. If it was on the dock, they called it the touchstone, I believe, back then. If you got a phone call and you picked it up from the charger, it would auto answer when you picked it up. It was really cool. So I'm curious to see what more functionality the AirPower has in store when that ships, hopefully early next year. More coming in here. Can wireless charging and regular charging with a cable happen at the same time? That's interesting. I'm going to have to try that to see what happens if you put the Lightning connector in while you're charging at one of these inductive mats. I'm sure it'll pick one. There's no way that it would double charge it at a double speed if you put both in, but that would be actually something really cool to try, and I'll definitely give that a shot. Thanks for asking that question. That made my day. More coming in here. Do you think they'll improve charging even more next year? Beyond the AirPower, I don't think they're going to improve charging anymore. I think the next step in the iPhone, port and charging business is moving more so entirely to wireless. The AirPower is cool, but that fits 3 devices. Wouldn't it be cool if the iPhone stopped including a standard connection charger into the bottom of the phone and just included a smaller AirPower charger just for it? That way they can still include that inductive charging in the box, but still upsell you to one mat that controls all of your devices, lets you charge the AirPod case, lets you charge the Apple Watch, and lets you charge the iPhone. And I was asking when I met with Apple the other day, can you do 2 phones on the AirPower mat? Yes, so if you have a work phone and a personal iPhone, you can charge both of those on the AirPower mat. More coming in here. Is the iPhone 10 charging the same? Yes, the iPhone 10 charging is exactly the same. It has the Lightning connector on the bottom, but it also has the inductive charging on the back. And what allows for the inductive charging is this glass back. And you can see, for those just joining us, how quickly it starts charging up. So it's exactly the same. It has the fast charging, half an hour charge gets you 50% juice. So if you wake up in the morning and you forgot to charge your phone overnight, this happens to me all the time. I fall asleep holding my phone. It's really terrible, but I'm sure a lot of people, I'm sure most of you do that. You can charge it in the morning for half an hour while you're getting ready for work. By the time you leave to work, you have at least 50% charge. So that's actually a really good feature. But again, that costs you upwards of $67, $70 to get the complete kit to be able to do that. A MacBook Pro or a 12-inch MacBook charger plus the USB-C to Lightning cable. That's about the same price, if not a little bit more, to be fair, than the inductive charging here. But if I had $70 to spend on a new charging solution for the iPhone 8 and iPhone 10, I would absolutely go the route of fast charging, USB-C, and that higher power adapter rather than one of these inductive chargers. They simply don't add enough functionality to make them worth the price yet. With the AirPower, which hopefully we can test early next year, might change that, and we'll let you know when we get our hands on it. So thanks for joining us, and stay tuned for more episodes. Thanks.